What is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're all doing well today. Today I'm going to be running through my top pocket knives of the week. This is going to be everything that I've carried throughout the week, why I carried them, and a little bit about the knife. Hopefully you're enjoying this format and it helps you get some sort of follow-up in between, like a long-term review and after the initial review. Having said that, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this week's carry, starting with Monday. For micarta Monday, I had the Giant Mouse Ace Grand with the burlap micarta. This one unfortunately is no longer available, but it's just such a great knife. And even if you get just the base model micarta variant of this knife, I think you will enjoy it a lot. Very much big hand friendly, has nice ergos, plenty of space for my larger hands to fit on, nice tall flat grind, has jimping right in the perfect spot for my fingers. The access to the lock bar, if you don't mind just the lay down the thumb on top of the lock bar, it is good access. But if you do enjoy trying to come in from the side, it really doesn't have the access for that. So I did have to just kind of swoop or scoop that out just a tiny bit so I can get the large thumbs in there. The thumb hole is in the perfect position in my opinion. It works really well for the thumb, for the reverse flick, and it is a very satisfying knife to deploy. It gets out really quick, lets you get to what you need to do, and then it has a nice black wash finish on the blade and then the solid black hardware on the knife with that dark smooth burlap micarta. Looks really good. You can see where it has just started to patina. The pocket clip protects the knife where my hand's not really touching, and I really just like the way that this one looks, feels in hand. The 4E steel, I know that I saw on Transparent Knives he had said that it wasn't a very high heat treat, that it was acceptable, but for me and when I'm doing my day-to-day tasks, I haven't noticed any issues with it, and actually I'd be willing to send it out to him to let him poke this one as well, just to see how consistent the heat treat is. But that's what was in the pocket on Monday. Great carry. I like that one a lot, and highly recommend the Giant Mouse Ace Grand. Just a superb knife. Really, again, big hand friendly. Tuesday, I had a knife in the pocket that I am trying to formulate an opinion on to give my review on. That is going to be the recently released Devo knife stout. I have the 20 CV stonewash variant with the hollow grind, titanium frame lock with the micarta bolsters. I just like the way the micarta looks and feels in hand. I think it's a really great material. Not that I don't like the carbon fiber, but I will say that copper aluminum carbon fiber that they have on their scales, that's not my favorite. I like the fat carbon just a little bit better, and that's just personal preference. It's not to say that it looks bad or the color combinations look bad. That again is personal preference. Kevin, I believe, probably really likes the way that looks a little bit better than the fat carbon because he went with it on both colorways. This is really well done. Really good first attempt at a knife, and the review for this is going to be coming up, so I don't want to give too much away on this, but to me this is like 80% knife, 20% fidget toy, and I think that's highly appropriate when you look at who's designing the knife. The wire pocket clip on here is nice because it doesn't mess with the ergos, but I just, from a wire pocket clip perspective, I don't think the gain of barely being seen out of the pocket overrides the stability of like a full titanium pocket clip. That's the only thing that I'll give away from the review. If you want to see the full review on this one, you will need to make sure that you are subscribed with your notification bells turned on, because you don't want to miss the review that is going to be coming up for that knife. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Wednesday. I went with a WE Wednesday. I put the WE Roxy 3 back in the pocket. Black washed S35VN full forward finger choil, and it also has a stone washed handle, which I think really looks good together. The finishes on a lot of these WE knives are really good. I love that milled titanium pocket clip. I like to see that on more of their knives. I don't know if that's because of the designer really wanting that stone washed, or I'm sorry, that milled titanium pocket clip versus the stamped, but I really like that a lot. This thing here also really fidgety. You got a ton of ways to deploy this knife, and with that forward finger choil, excellent ergos, and it's just got a lot of attitude to it. So I really like this one. Probably my favorite WE. Really, truly one of my favorites, if not my favorite WE. And again, big hand friendly, really good ergos. That finger choil makes all the difference so that you can get a full grip on here, and you have plenty of cutting edge for the task that you're probably going to do on your day to day. Moving along, Thursday, picking up a knife I haven't had in a little while. I get to missing it. It is still my favorite button lock, and that is going to be the ProTech Malibu. There's a ton of button locks out on the market, but to me, none have the detent that this one has. It's very snappy. You are going to be hard pressed to fail this one. They got the size of the button right, getting the proper amount of contact. They have the release milling on the blade for that lock dialed perfectly. This thing feels great, and it has great sounds. With the milling on there, it takes it to another level. Feels really good in hand, and it has nice grips without feeling like it's overdone. Doesn't feel like it's sandpaper, and it has a nice geometry for an EDC blade. I like that reverse tanto because it really does allow you to do those utility and draw cuts, like when you go to get into a package, or if you're shipping something, if you want to use your knife to cut that label out. Really good for that, but still has flat enough to be able to use for the push cuts, and it works really well. Great size overall. I can get just about all 4 fingers on there. I hang off the back just a tiny bit, but lightweight, great EDC size, allows me to carry other gear in the pocket. So I really like that knife a lot. Still my favorite button lock, even after all this time. Last but not least, Friday's carry. I hadn't carried it in a while. This is the Kunwu X Tao. They have the Tao, which is also a great knife. The X Tao just adds the crossbar lock on it. Nice milling. It has great texturing on the blade, so you get nice grip. I have not encountered their LMAX before, but the heat treat on it seems like it's pretty high from what they're advertising. I obviously haven't sent this out to be treated. The edge on it is well done. It came from the factory nice. Has a good geometry for an EDC knife, and it has a tall flat grind. The satin finish allows it to move through the material, so no issues with that whatsoever. I like these thumb studs a lot. I did recently try to break it down to swap out the Omega springs, but I actually think the Omega springs that came with it are actually the lighter ones. I think the heavier ones are on here, because when I went to apply the pressure, these felt stiffer off the knife, just kind of squeezing them with the hand to see if it was really stiffer. And I think the other ones are actually lighter. I think these are the heavier ones. So this is as heavy as the detent is going to get, which is still a little light for my taste, but it's not awful, and it works. You can just pop that knife blade out regardless. And you can do that with a lot of crossbar lock knives, don't get me wrong, especially the Hogues. They tune theirs to be so smooth on action that you can pretty much knock all of them out just by flicking the wrist, and you can even deploy it without using or accessing the crossbar. Afraid I'm gonna hit the knife. Here you go. There. I have to like ram up off screen to get it to deploy without hitting that. But you can do that a lot with the crossbar locks. The very nice backspacer with a lanyard barrel, which I really prefer. I don't like the lanyard holes drilling through the knife. Has a little bit of milling here so that when you're running your fingers through there, they have something to grip onto, and they carried it out through there. I think they should have just finished it through the whole knife. I think it would have looked really good, and it would have just added a little bit more grip. Overall, I'm really impressed with this. For the price and what you're getting, LMAX steel, which is a good steel. It's not stain resistant, which you can see some of the coloration on here. I did clean it up before the video, but this is, you know, going to pick up any oils, juices, anything like that that you might run it against. Those are going to stain into the blade and just cause it to patina, but the blade itself is still going to be strong, and it's going to have a good edge. Again, I like the thumb studs because they're ramped, very neat, and I also like the studs here on the crossbar lock. It gives somebody like me with larger hands more to grip onto, but I think that's something that anybody's going to appreciate. Anyway, reversible wire pocket clip. Now this one's a little bit different. So it moves around a little bit on the Stout, Not as much on these two knives. And the one thing that I noticed that's a little bit different, this one's shorter, so I don't think you have as much material, so it's able to keep the strength up, whereas the one on the stout's longer. Now this one's longer, but it looks like they put bends into it, and that does help keep it from moving around too much. But I think eventually I'll probably just pick up a Lynch Northwest wire pocket clip replacement for those. I know that they fit on the Giant Mouse because Lynch now sells them with their pocket clips on there. And I know I saw Devo Knives talk about the fact that those fit on their knife as well. So I'm hoping that it'll fit on the X-Tal because I think I prefer the Lynch Northwest clip to the wire clip. Anyway, let me know what you've been carrying most recently. What did you like off my list here today? Leave it down in the comments for me so I can check out what you have in the pockets and what you're enjoying, or what do you have coming in the mail that you're excited to get. I love to hear what you guys are carrying all the time. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, leave a like. Consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for your support, and be on the lookout if you made it this far into the video. 2,000 subscribers. I know it's coming, and I have a super giveaway for all of you out there to register for, because I just want to say thank you and show you that I appreciate the support. I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.